Hello again. So moving right along with our theorems, the next one, we're still on page 14, is called angle at the center. So this is an interesting property that holds between the angle that's in the center and the angle that is on the arc. Let's see what happens. Well, this is interesting. So if you have this angle between the radii, then the subtended angle on the arc, can you see this, will always be twice. The one at the center is always twice the one on the arc. So I can even change the size of this. Okay, and then as you can see, it stays twice the one that's on the arc. Be careful. Sometimes it looks very tricky because it could look something like this and you may cut out. You'll be asked for this angle and you're sitting there going, how can I possibly find this angle? But just picture moving this point along to where it's lined up like this, and you can see that this double property holds. So the former name for this angle is the angle at the center theorem, and I like to refer to it as the Star Trek theorem. Star Trek, here's Mr. Spock showing the Star Trek sign, and it's just, I think, kind of a fun way to remember it, really. And go ahead and copy the little remembrance note here that angle at the center is always twice the angle on the circumference. So starting off with this easy question, you can see that as soon as you see the 128, here's your Star Trek theorem, and the one, remember, this one is always half of this one. That's the big one. Then we can just divide 128 by 2 and get 64 here, okay? So something like this maybe is a little bit trickier, but again, this is what I was mentioning with this point of moving along. And can you see that this is also x? All right, so they told us that this one is 45, so this one is 45, so that means that this one right here is going to be 90. If this is 90, this is going to be half of that, so x will actually also end up being 45. So go ahead and try the other ones. Perhaps I'll just do this one since it looks a little bit more complicated. Okay, well, how do we dig to that one? Okay, well, we know that this one right here by the Star Trek theorem is 50. Great. What else can we do? And there's more than one way to actually do this, but perhaps, do you remember that around a point, the total sum is 360. So this one right here is actually going to be 260. Okay, and since these are equal length, then these and these angles will be equal. So we can now set up a nice equation of 50 plus 260 plus 2x will give us 360 degrees. This will be 100, so we have 2x, just work the algebra, is equal to 50, and x is equal to 25. Ta-da! By the way, the answers to all of these that we're working through now are on page 18. Okay, there they are, one by one, so do keep checking as you go along.